Good morning, you beautiful person. Today, I would like to talk with you about using your creative expression as a way to promote your own well being. Now, I remember when I went to, I thought about the concept of creative expression, and I went around to persons to see, what their creative expressions were and whether they'd want to be a part of a group to share those creative expressions. One common theme that came out was that people were just really, really, really so critical of their own creative expressions. They're like, nah, I can't show that, or, something to that effect. Now, what I would like to encourage us to remember is that your creative expression is wholly and solely yours. That's number one. Number two, whatever it is that you're doing in life, no, most people don't start out at perfection. And the whole idea behind expressing your creative side is that it is to focus more or less on how you feel. How does it make you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel more empowered when you write, when you paint, when you cook, when you sew? How does that make you feel? And that is what we'd like to focus on with creative expressions. Not being critical of yourself, not being critical of others and their work, but to focus on the thoughts and the feelings that those evoke in you. Okay? Now, the thing to remember is that we are all creative, all very creative. And one of the things that I found out in healthcare is that oftentimes we think because you're a nurse or a doctor or a physiotherapist, radiographer, a support worker, whatever it is that your role is in healthcare, that because you are now involved in healthcare, it means that you have to toss away your creative side. So, what I want to remind you is that you don't have to do that. If you sing, you can still sing and you can integrate that into whatever healthcare field that you are in. Remember also that, let's say, when you started out your journey in whichever profession that you're in, I'm sure that there are different phases that you went through. There was a period in time when you were a beginner. Some of you now, you may be experts in your field. And that movement from being a beginner to a place where you're now an expert, it didn't happen overnight, did it? Of course not. And if you want to get better with whatever creative expression it is that you have, certainly practice will help. However, in that journey, in that process, don't focus so much on being critical of your work. What I would like to implore you to do is to focus instead on how that makes you feel. When you write a poem, how does that make you feel? For example, I remember once I had a very bad situation at work where a patient of mine died. So there was one moment when I was there and I was talking with him, and you know, and then there was the next moment when just wasn't. I remember as I was there, his wife called, and she wanted to speak with him, and he was like, "No, I'll talk with you tomorrow." And then within minutes, he deteriorated. I was shocked, even to the point of responding to the arrest and everything, and just seeing how everything transformed. I was just so moved. I was emotional. I was heartbroken. I went home and I really just couldn't sleep at all. I was up all night. And one of the things that really helped me get through that phase was just to write a poem about how I felt, those thoughts, those feelings. And I will share with you that poem a little bit later. But the purpose of this particular video is just to remind you, one, that your creative expression is wholly and purely yours. It is not for you to judge yourself, but instead for you to explore your thoughts, your feelings, and to get creative with whatever it is that you do. And if you haven't been exploring your creative side, why not delve in today? See how creativity and expressing that creativity can help to promote your well being, especially during this pandemic.